to my channel, and as you can see today we have a different background because I just, did some changes. So today I decided to discuss with you the differences between oil and acrylic paints. And I think this is really important because some people are really used to using oils and some people are really used to using acrylics like myself. So I really want to explain this based on experience because I've tried both, and towards the end of this video I'm gonna tell you what paint I really prefer. And I guess most of you already know what paint I really prefer based on the medium that I've been using all this time. But yeah, to be fair, I'm just gonna discuss to you the pros and cons of the two mediums, and probably I'll sound a little biased about this one, but yeah, I better tell you, Alright, so yes, okay. So to differentiate the two, I have to categorize the under which they should be differentiated. I'm losing words, alright. Alright, so number one, as to drying time, of course this is very common. If you watch other videos about this one, they will tell you that as to drying time, and I think this is the number one category under which these two really differ from each other. So as to drying time, acrylic of course dries faster, like in minutes it's dry already. So if you're a fast painter, acrylic I think is really, or it really suits you. I really think that acrylic suits me. Because I want to paint a lot and I paint often. That's why. Anyway, as to oil dries so slow that it would take about 3 weeks or a month for it to completely dry, or even longer for it to completely dry. Some people say that the slow drying time of oil is actually beneficial, and some, like myself, say that the slow drying time of oil is not really beneficial, at least for my pacing. And for acrylics, some people just don't like the fast drying time of acrylics. They don't appreciate that, but I appreciate it for some reason. Anyway, I'm gonna go to that point later. So as to drying time, again, acrylics dry so fast in minutes, and oil dries like 500% slower than that. Okay, so what's the next point? The next point, as to manageability. What I mean by this is that the way you handle the paint, is it easier or is it harder? For me, as to manageability, acrylics are more manageable than oil because you only need water to get the paint done, right? Like the paint brushes and all that usual stuff. And you don't need special chemicals for it to be, complete. You can add some retarders and all that, but to be honest guys, I really don't use those kind of stuff because for me, if you're using retarder, you might as well use oil. Why spend money for acrylics and then use retarders? You might as well just use oil and, well, for some people maybe they're avoiding the fumes and all the odor of oils. That's why maybe they would just buy retarders instead of doing the usual oil. But for me, if you're not really sensitive, like health-wise when it comes to odor, you might as well, just get yourself some oil paints and, not, or do away with those retarders for acrylic paints. Alright, and for oil, sorry, what am I saying? For oil is quite messy, and I really don't like the way it sticks to my skin because it stains so bad that I feel a little grossed out because it's so sticky and it doesn't dry completely, and I think I'm dirtying everything when I'm painting with oils. I feel like when I'm painting oil, I cannot touch anything inside my house. I may be I may be exaggerating things, but that's how I feel. That's why after painting with oils, I immediately wash my hands like thoroughly so that I don't damage other objects inside my house, because my house is like a lot of white things and yeah, a lot of clear objects that, not clear, I mean they're so white and plain that if I stain them, it's gonna be obvious. It's hair. All right. Okay, again, as to manageability, this includes cleaning. Acrylics, you only need water to clean it. As to your palette, all right, let me show you guys my palette. I actually have this palette. I bought this in 2017, and I've been using this since that time. So this was the palette that I used for my iris painting yesterday. If you saw that, I posted that on Facebook and also on the community tab of my YouTube. So if you saw that, it's an iris painting, so you can see some purple and pink and some dark colors in there, some orange. So now this is how I clean this palette. This palette is a plastic palette. It's a huge palette, and some people tell me that it's a plate more than anything else. It's actually an egg palette. I bought this from Seoul, and now I'm going to show you how easy it is to clean my palette when I'm using acrylics. So this is actually dry. I don't have to worry. I'm not going to stain myself. So I'm just gonna peel it, and this is so satisfying, guys. Like when I peel it, look at that. Like it's all clean, right? Of course, you have to be like, sometimes you don't get to peel it off perfectly, but it's just so satisfying whenever I peel it. So this is just so easy, and just throw it away, and no stains whatsoever because it's plastic, to be honest. So yeah, this is so easy. Now I'm getting addicted. I'm trying to remove the others, but yeah, I'm gonna do that later. I'm just trying to tell you that acrylics, when it comes to cleaning, it's so much easier. And even if it gets to your skin or on a surface, you can easily wipe it, as long as the surface is not wood. That's what I've noticed about acrylics. When it already touches the wood, any wooden object, it just stays there like a normal house paint. You know that? You know what I mean when I say house paint? You know, the paint of your walls. So it stays like that because you cannot really scrape it off. Yeah, I've actually stained some of my wooden furniture when I was in Seoul, and I was having a hard time removing them. But when it sticks to I don't know, let's say a can, right, like this can, so when an acrylic stains your can, you simply peel it off like a normal palette like this one. So it isn't really a problem for me, and I'm actually having fun peeling it off. So I actually wait for my paints to dry before I start cleaning it, because I really like that you know, that peeling off thing. So I enjoy it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so next point. All right, by the way, I haven't mentioned about the oil thing. I did not bring my glass palette here. My glass palette, I use that for oil painting because, to be honest, guys, I don't like the odor of the oil paints. That's why I decided not to bring it here. I mean, it's in my room, but I did not like keep it here because I'm gonna smell it. So I might as well just tell you that I'm using a glass palette. It's actually a glass from a picture frame. So I just removed all the other parts and took the glass and yeah, use it as a palette for oil. And it's just so hard to clean. I just don't enjoy cleaning my palette when I'm using oil, because it's basically wet, so you have to really use some wipes or anything like that while painting. So it does not really help me, or it actually distracts my momentum when I'm painting. So I might as well get another glass palette and put some new paints in there other than cleaning my old palette. Yeah, maybe yeah, I just like to work fast, that's why. But sometimes when I feel like it, I really do oils, and I really enjoy it too. To be honest, I've done several oil paintings. I'm going to show them to you later, and most of them are florals, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. But yes, let me go to my next point as to price. Okay, let's be real. Let's talk about money. And acrylics, definitely they are cheaper than oil. One, because you only need water to get the paint done. With oils, you have to have this turpentine, linseed oil, all those chemical stuff that will enable you to get the most out of oil paints. So I have turpentine in my storage area, and I really don't like the smell, guys. To be honest, I don't know if it's just me. For sure it's not just me, but I just don't get how people put up with that kind of odor. Maybe their place is well ventilated. I can do that, but even if my place is like well ventilated, I can still smell it, especially when the paint is done. So I'm letting it dry. I can still smell that scent, or not even scent, that odor. It's not garbage scent, something like that. It's not like that. It's like a chemical. It's like you're in a laboratory, something like that. So I just don't like it. I think I have a sensitive respiratory system. That's why I just don't enjoy that, and it affects my thinking. Sometimes, like, I don't feel good because I'm smelling something that I don't like. You know. Yeah, I hope you get me. All right. So as to blending, this one may sound new to you, because if you listen to other artists saying that as to blending, oils are the best and acrylics are the worst. Well, I have a different view when it comes to blending, because I blend well with acrylics, not with oil. I cannot, you know, I just cannot do perfectly the wet on wet technique. If you are an expert of the wet on wet technique, that's good for you, but I am just not really comfortable doing that wet on wet technique. Maybe I just don't know how to do it properly. But instead of blending it, I tend to mix the colors. That's why it gets muddy, and it's not the color that I really like. It's more of the color that was mixed well, so well that you don't see the different colors that were combined to get that mixture. You know, that it was just so perfectly blended. Not even blended, it was mixed. So I think that was just my issue. If you're really good at blending, not mixing, I think oil is good for you. Oil is good for you. They tell that blending is good, mixing is good. But to me, I really love blending with acrylics, because I can still see the different colors that I'm blending. I'm not mixing them, I'm just blending them, removing all the hard lines that separate one from another, if you know what I mean. So yeah, okay. All right, I've mentioned this before as to odor. Again, oils do not stink, but they have this chemical-like scent or smell or odor that I just don't appreciate, and kind of hurts my lungs, kind of hurts my throat as well. I don't know if I'm the only one getting some sore throat whenever I do oil painting. Yeah, and acrylics, they do not really have that. It's odorless. They're odorless. Maybe they have something that you can smell, but it's not that too strong to affect your lungs or to change your mood, just like myself. So yeah, right. Next, as to the quality of your work, does it really affect? Many people think that if you use oil, your work is more like luxurious, maybe. But you know, to be honest, guys, and I don't want to sound like a philosophical book or anything like that, the quality of your work depends on the way you work on your painting. It's not about the kind of paint that you're using. It's not about whether or not I'm using acrylics, I'm using oil. By the way, this one is actually, can you guess? It's in acrylic. It doesn't have to be in oil for it to be appreciated by other people, and of course by yourself, and of course by me. So I really like this painting because it was so simply done using acrylics, and I think I made it appear as if it was in oil. It didn't have to be like that. It just have to be pleasing to my own eyes. So yeah, this one, this seascape is in acrylics, by the way, and I'm just so proud of it. So again, as to the quality of work, doesn't have to be oil to be beautiful, or it doesn't have to be acrylic to be beautiful. Either of the mediums can be used in accomplishing your plan of art or anything that you want to paint. It doesn't have to be a particular medium, guys. Just because one uses acrylic doesn't mean that the work is bad, and just because the one uses oil does not mean that the work is really good. So I mean, let's be real, guys. Some works just don't please your eyes because beauty is subjective, guys. So yeah, to me that too happens. Like sometimes my own work does not please me, so I'd rather paint over it, something like that. So it's not about the paint that I'm using. I'm also enjoying some of my oil paintings, which I'm going to show you now. So yeah, here we go now, guys. So I'm gonna show you some of my oil paintings. Oh wait, I'm just gonna show you some of my acrylic paintings aside from this one. So I'm gonna show 3 oil and 3 acrylics. So this is the first acrylic. I just like it, that's why it's here right beside me. So I'm gonna show you 2 more acrylics. So this one, I just did this recently. Yeah. Yep. So this is in acrylics. So I really like this one. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna show you another one, and I think this was a subject of my tutorial. Here we go. It's also in acrylic. Oh, sorry, you can see. Right? Okay, so I'm gonna show you now. This is the exciting part because you know I really don't do a lot of oils. So I'm gonna show you 3 oil paintings that I've done, and all of them are florals. So here we go. Number 1 is this one. It's in oil. I like it. To be honest, oh wait, where's my signature? Oh, sorry guys, it's like reverse. Sorry. There you go. Oh, it's so big. Right. So this is in oil. So you can see, I absolutely enjoy doing this one because it's not always all the time that I paint bouquet. So yeah, that's one. Then I'm gonna show you 2 more, which I'm just so excited about. Also a bouquet. This one, I hope it's not reverse. Alright, so this is, it smells like oil, guys. I can still smell it. So it's still oil painting. Yeah, it's very vivid, right? Alright, okay. Now I'm gonna show you my last oil painting, at least for the purpose of, for purposes of this video. I hope, okay, this one. Also a bouquet. Okay, so yeah, those are my oil paintings that I just recently did. I did that when I came back from Seoul. So I hope you enjoyed that, because I really enjoyed explaining the observations that I have about acrylics and oil. And by the way, if you're asking, I'm using Reeves acrylics. Yeah, all Reeves. This is not a sponsored video whatsoever, but I'm just telling you, if you want to know what acrylic paints that I'm using Reeves. And for oil paints, okay, I have this oil color. It's a Shinhan. Actually, it's a local brand in Korea. I don't know if you can buy this somewhere else. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Oh, it's not focusing. There you go. Oh, there you go. Sorry guys. So it's Shinhan. It's professional. Sorry. So it's professional acrylic oil paints. And of course guys, since I really hate those not hate, but since I really don't appreciate the turpentine and all that chemical stuff when I'm using oil, I got myself some water mixable paints, and these are from Winsor & Newton Artisan water mixable oil color. I think this is already becoming popular for some. It's water mixable. I kind of like this one because you only need water, just like acrylics, but still drying time is the same. These are all done with this paints, but I will tell you a secret guys, that since I really don't appreciate those chemicals when I'm using the ordinary oil paints, I mix it with the oil or with the water mixable paints. So when I did those paintings, those oil paintings, I did not use any chemical. I just used them together. Yeah. I just used them together without any chemicals, and I think it kind of worked for me. So just do what works for you. Again, I've told you that in my previous video. Just make things work for you, and if those liquid, those chemicals, those fumes don't work for you, don't use them, because I really don't want you to sacrifice your health just to be able to paint. So just get the materials or the supplies that work for you and that won't hurt your health or your skin, anything like that. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed this simple discussion that we have. And of course, these are all based on experience, and I don't think this is any different from what other artists are experiencing when it comes to oil. Maybe we differ from the appreciation, because I really like acrylic better than oil. So thanks for watching guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and see you in my next video.